In this lesson, we'll begin building the character's arm bones. We'll get started with the left arm. We'll go ahead and start creating the chain from the top view. Just considering the preferred angle, you can see exactly where the bend of the arm is. So to make sure inverse kinematics will bend the arm in the right direction, again, we'll make sure that we draw this chain from the right view. Not the actual right view, but the top view. You get what I'm saying. All right, so let's say we go ahead and move over to our top view. We have a bit of an issue in that there are several bones blocking where we need to start our chain from, but no worries. Remember, with bone edit mode, we can fix issues like that. So what I'll do is go ahead and click around the area we would like to start the clavicle from. Go ahead and click. Then we'll click again for our shoulder. Then the elbow. We'll continue down the forearm to create our wrist bone, and we'll end right at the end of the hand. We'll create a nub here. We won't worry about the fingers just yet. We can do that in the next lesson. All right, let's say we move over to our perspective view. We'll go ahead and grab the root, and we'll go ahead and just drag this up. Now from here, once we've managed to place the root inside of the arm, it'd be a good idea to start rotating the chain down to fit the rest of the chain inside of this arm. Great. Now taking a look at the wrist, this looks pretty good, but I think we can rotate this up a little bit higher. That looks better. All right. So the chain looks very nice. I'd say we can go ahead and start to tweak the shoulder and clavicle. Let's go ahead and start with the clavicle with that selected. We'll go ahead and grab our move tool, switch over to local mode, and then enable bone edit mode. Let's go ahead and start to pull this back in the x-axis. We'll do the same thing for the shoulder. Now, be very careful. Make sure that this is placed in the right spot so that as the arm starts to move around, we get the correct deformations. If this is too close to the clavicle, we're going to get a lot of collapsing around the shoulder. What we don't want is for the shoulder to cave into the chest when it moves down. So we just have to keep track of our topology to make sure that that does not happen. All right, great. This looks good. From here, we can go ahead and start working on renaming these objects. So our clavicle will simply be BN L clavicle 01. And you get the idea. So the next will be shoulder, then forearm, wrist, and then we can name this one wrist end if we'd like. I'll pause the video and get the others renamed. Alrighty, so each bone has now been renamed. Before we stop the lesson, let's go ahead and check the placement of each. We're still in bone edit mode, so this would be a good time to just double check and make sure that each one will pivot from the right place. So the wrist looks good, the elbow as well, the shoulder. When it comes to the clavicle, we want to make sure that it's about right outside of the base of the neck. If we were to go ahead and continue that line down, just want to make sure that when this clavicle rotates up, that it will not cause the neck to cave in. So I think we've placed it at the right spot. Beautiful. Okay, well, I'd say this is a good time to turn off bone edit mode, and we can go ahead and just take that clavicle here, link it to the chest, and then freeze this entire chain. So let's go ahead and press Control page down. We'll now right click and choose Freeze Transform. Beautiful. All right, we'll stop the lesson here. In the next lesson, we'll create bones for the fingers.